Hello, everybody. Welcome into Tiger Talks Wrestling. I'm your host, Tony, joined, as always, by my good friend, Eddie. Welcome in.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this, and glad everybody who is watching. Thank you for staying up late with us. And no, I am not Rhonda Shears.
Nope. um, we, we're on here to give our Bash in Berlin predictions. We'll probably talk some NXT No Mercy predictions as well. But we got to start off, as you see there on the screen right now, besides the two of us. We wanted to do this show in memory of Psycho Sid Udy as well, who unfortunately we lost about a week ago to cancer. Sid was somebody who was very influential, I would say, for a lot of superstars and was one of the most talented big men in his era, in my opinion. A former, of course, WCW World Heavyweight Champion and WWF World Heavyweight Champion. Some of the matches he had with Shawn Michaels in WWF back in the 90s, among other people, were really good matches. And not only just the wrestler, though, but to hear and see the things that Sid Udy, the man, did outside of wrestling. Just an incredible person that we lost, unfortunately.
I was very fortunate. I mean, that back at WrestleMania 11 at the Hartford Civic Center when he was in the corner of Shawn Michaels. Um, I was a big Bret Hart fan. I know Bret was facing Bob Backlund, which was the worstest match in the world. Um, Sid was a very Sid was a very kind man. I mean, you hate to see somebody that you grew up watching, and yes, like you said, Tony, back in the day, there wasn't a lot of big men that could handle. You had Andre, you had you had John Studd, you had Bundy, the one man gang, Taker. I mean, the his former tag team partner, um, David Spivey, who was Waylon Mercy in WWF and all that.
Right.
Sid was a part of the Skyscrapers. And if you ever saw some matches of the Skyscrapers, they were dominant in WCW. Never got a good match, but for Sid to work with the guys like Kevin Nash, Scott, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan deserves all the respect in the world. And my condolences go to his family.
Yes, our condolences go out to his family. In WWE, still, he is not currently, but needs to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. No question. Long overdue.
That's that's a main question I always. The man fought two WWE, fought two-time WWE Hall of Famers in title, and beat them to win both of his
Right.
titles. He beat Shawn at the Survivor Series, the one I went to. And that's the night Bret
Right.
Hart returned to face Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then he beat Bret Hart the next month. And then he beat Bret Hart at the Bret won in that fatal four-way in 1997, the next night on Raw. I mean, and then he dropped the belt to Taker at WrestleMania 13. And then you go back
Yep.
to even matches before he came back. Sid had a match with Hulk Hogan in the main event of WrestleMania 8. Shitty
Did.
ending, but the man main evented with legends and Hall of Famers. And damn it, he was even part of the Four Horsemen. This man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and I hope next year he gets his flowers. And his family could enjoy his career.
Amen. I'm with you on that. Very much hard to see this. I mean, we've lost so many wrestlers lately. I mean, both of the Wild Samoans, Sid, even yesterday, I believe it was, Mr. Wrestling number 5, I believe, passed away. Yesterday, the day before. There's a couple other guys that were in there as well that have passed away lately, but this one was definitely one of the most shocking. I feel like, yep, Kevin Sullivan as well. So,
our childhood, kids as in 80s and 90s, our childhood is going up in smoke because these guys are great wrestlers, but their bodies couldn't take it. I mean, there were some funny moments with Sid. Everybody's got to know that moment where he said he had the half a brain that Kevin Nash and Scott Hall had on Nitro.
yes.
And then
Yes.
And then the one that I loved, where Goldberg destroyed his rental car.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. That was great.
Yeah.
One thing that many people remember about Sid also is broke his leg too in WCW. Go ahead.
That was a Russo thing
to
have the guy climb up on the top rope and try to do a leg drop off the top rope. He's 6'8". There's no way a 6'8" man like him could do it. It was horrible.
Right. I agree. But that's what happened. Like we said, there's many great matches though that Sid had as well. So it'll be missed, that's for sure. Now, before I get into our predictions, though, there was another announcement made yesterday that is wrestling related. Whether people want to talk about it or not, I'm bringing it up because that he's done are very horrendous, but he still was the owner, chairman, CEO, everything for WWE, and there wouldn't be a WWE without him. Mr. E documentary series on Netflix next month. A 6-part series. Apparently, from what I've read, they did interviews with stars from past and present, and even did an interview with Vince McMahon before he resigned for the second time from WWE. What do you think of the fact that Netflix, of all places, is the one to release this documentary, knowing that WWE is coming to Netflix at the beginning?
You know what? What Vince McMahon did is disgusting, and we're gonna hold him accountable for what he did. But
yes,
we don't know how long this has gone on with Vince McMahon. Nobody knows.
True.
But without him, if his creative genius, I don't think we would have got the American trash bag in the 80s.
Right.
I don't think we would have ever had a great. I don't think we would have had WrestleMania. There would never be a WrestleMania. We would not have all the great moments with Savage and Steamboat. You know, the mega powers explode. We wouldn't have all these great matches. We wouldn't have Shawn and Taker. And we would have never had the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars. if this would have came out during the Monday Night Raws, I feel like WCW would have been still on today.
Probably.
You know, but here's a twist on it. It's going to be a really strange documentary. Are they even going to talk about the allegations, which I've been hearing rumors? Yes, it's going to be a part of the documentary. And will that ruin WWE's? Will that ruin WWE's ratings on Netflix? Nobody knows, because it's the first time that a major company is doing on a streaming service. Nobody knows if they even consider ratings on that, because we don't know what the format's going to be. Is it going to be like the Attitude Era, or is it going to be like Disney on Ice?
That's true.
You know,
we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, but I gotta watch it to see how I like it. But you know, Vince had a great mind, and then he fucked himself with all this. It has been a bad week for wrestlers.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm not even gonna bring up. I know. I'm sure I know.
You know,
Nikki Bella, but
yeah, like
we're not even.
Yeah, it's like. But on a good note, and I'm gonna say this: congratulations to the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, on winning the AEW World Title from whose house?
Swerve's house.
You know, yep. Basically, congratulations! What a hell of a match. I mean, I didn't watch the pay-per-view, but I saw highlights. What a great match by Will Ospreay and you know MJF, and then the stinker of the night, Mercedes Marné and Dr. Brett Baker. Crappy ass wrestling. What a shit fest.
That's what I heard. I heard it was.
I mean,
I have yet to watch it,
but you know what? It's wrestling. What are you gonna do about it? I mean, now we just gotta wait and see what happens tomorrow night. And God, it's gonna be a hell of a weekend for wrestling.
Very true. As mentioned, of course, tomorrow afternoon at 1:00 Eastern Time is Bash in Berlin. And then Sunday night at, I believe, 7, I'll double check on that. It's either 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern Time will be the NXT. But off of that, you were just mentioning it to me before we went on air. One of the men in is now a champion coming out of TNA Emergence tonight.
Well,
spoiler alert.
The new X Division champion from the Rascals. God, what the fuck? Zachary Wins. Rascals is the new X Division champion. I forgot his name because he was called something different in WWE.
He was Nash Carter.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, he's the new. He beat Speedball Mike Bailey. Like, okay, who the hell is that? Yeah.
4 other guys in there as well, including Jason Hotch, who is somebody I know personally. It was Ultimate X, but
and then Hammerstone. It sounds like a movie theater.
Also
Live
from
at the Hammerstone. Oh yeah, Osborne.
Riley Osborne, yeah. And then there was one other person in there too. The Laredo Kid.
Well, yeah, okay. I was like trying to figure out who that was. I thought it was Commander. I thought it was Commander from the AEW.
Nope. There's so many mask guys right now. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting things set up here. Give me just a moment, and then we'll get into our predictions.
No, it's definitely. I'm looking at the card of the pay-per-view. Yep. They got a Shawn Michaels, that bitch.
Okay. That's been super fun. That actually fun. Just not that one for some reason. Oh well. All right. I might have to add a new queen here. We'll see. Oh no, it's not any good. Once it decides to share. Match numero uno to discuss.
Uno.
For tomorrow's bash in Berlin. Not to be confused with Evil. Oh.
Yeah.
So, I figured we'll start with the most heated rivalry, I would say, going into any match for the most part tomorrow night. Or tomorrow afternoon for us, but it'll be tomorrow there in Berlin. The strap match. Watching now or later. John is not able to be with us. He is away with his wife celebrating their anniversary for the weekend. However, he did send in his predictions. So I'm going to get to that first before we give our predictions, just to make sure we get Johnny's out there. So the match in question here is the strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. It's the first time we've seen a strap WWE in quite some time. They went back to the old school version of the strap match. Two men tied together by a strap. You can use the strap as a weapon as much as you want to. It's just whoever touches all four turnbuckles, top turnbuckles, in succession wins the match. Baller submission, you have to each turnbuckle successfully, one right after the other, to win the match. And with that, this story, it's not going to be over with the strap match. We both know that for a fact. They'll have to win another match after this. Drew McIntyre, of course, got the win at SummerSlam. What's going to happen here at Bash in Berlin, we'll have to wait and see. Johnny is going with CM Punk to pick up the win here in Berlin.
Well, we know what happened at SummerSlam, that Shawn Michaels got involved and all that other great stuff, and Bret Hart won the match, and then Shawn Michaels left the ring with his shirt off and his pants and all that other great shit. I gotta go with John because I feel like you need Punk to tie it up, and then a return in pay-per-view that is happening in October will be the final chapter of the storyline. It's been going on way too long, and it's got to end in a bloody mess. Like it hasn't before, but I feel like it's going to be a trilogy that Punk wins one, Drew wins one, and then we go to the next pay-per-view, which is Bad Blood, and we finish it off there with a climax.
So with that said, you're also going CM Punk to win tomorrow.
Most definitely.
I am going to make that 3 for 3. I think Punk gets the win here. But Drew will still have the bragging rights. Hey, I pinned you. You haven't pinned me. therefore leading into the third and final match between these two. Somehow, some way, I feel like, though, CM Punk's going to try to get his bracelet back, but I think Drew McIntyre is going to walk out of Berlin still with the bracelet intact.
I absolutely agree with you, but I think that, for God's sakes, I think that CM Punk can always make another bracelet and just let Drew McIntyre keep it.
Right? Should, but you know that's not going to happen. Punk's going to eventually get it back.
Yeah.
All right. That's not what I wanted you to do, you stupid thing. What are you doing? Silly things popping up. Oops, connection lost. Reconnect me yet. If you do, you know the drill.
I gotcha.
But, whoops. In the meantime, whether or not we get things to cooperate, maybe. There we go. What?
You didn't have none.
That's fine.
It's not on.
It is. I'm just in the middle of something. All right. So the next match we got to discuss, the mixed tag team match. This one's personal as well, not quite as personal, but it's still personal in some extent. Of course, you got the two members of the new version of the Judgment Day, Judgment Light, whatever you want to call them, going up against the Terror Twins, Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, and the Women's World Champion, Johnny's favorite, Liv Morgan, going up against Damian Priest and, of course, Mommy, Rhea Ripley. John, no surprise here, goes with Dom and Liv to pick up the win.
Oh, for the love of God, my boy. I love you, Johnny, but no. I mean, you can't have Mommy lose a second consecutive pay-per-view since coming back from injury. You can't have El Champion, my champion, a Bronx champion, and Damian Priest lose to that fake ass dirty Mexican himself, Dominic Mysterio. I mean, I'm going with the Terror Twins to win, and then we'll get Liv versus Mommy at Bad Blood for the title, and then we'll get Finn versus Damian the same night. I mean, I don't want to see Dominic Mysterio win. I just want to punch him in the face.
So I guess I got to be the tiebreaker here, since Johnny picks Liv and Dom and you pick the Terror Twins. This one I've thought about a little bit and gone back and forth between these two. I could see Finn and Priest again, but I feel like I'm with you here. I feel like the Terror Twins, Priest and Ripley, have it, and I don't think they're going to lose again. I agree with you. Bad Blood, we'll see Rhea versus Liv again, and you'll see Priest versus Balor. Finn will try to get involved. I don't know if the rest of the Judgment Day is there in Berlin or not. I think Finn's will backfire perhaps, and maybe he'll go after Priest after the match and might pay for it too. Who knows? But I don't think his presence is going to be enough to stop the Terror Twins from picking up the win in their first ever match as a team.
Yeah, most definitely.
But we'll see. Stranger things have happened. I mean, Dom has pinned his daddy twice thanks to Liv now, so.
This is what you get when you have senior abuse.
Right? That is very true. All right, so the next match we got is the women's tag team title match. A rematch, kind of ish. Rematch from SmackDown from a couple weeks ago. Is you got Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill going up against the Unholy Union, the current champs, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, for those tag titles. Johnny says he's got the Unholy Reunion, as he put, but the Unholy Union retaining.
Oh man, I am actually going to go with him because who doesn't want to see Isla Dawn every week? I would. But I feel like it's time for Bianca to turn heel. Instead of carrying, excuse my language, I love Jade Cargill, but for Bianca to carry dead weight, that's what they're going to quote it as. I think it's time for her, Jade, Bianca gets pinned, and then after the match, she turned on her. She turned on Jade and blamed her for the loss. So I'm going with the Unholy Reunion, whatever the hell they call themselves.
Unholy Union.
Yeah.
See, this is tough because I like Bianca's eventually going to turn on Jade, but is it at Bash in Berlin? That's the question. Or do they hold it off and we have those two break up closer to WrestleMania next April and have the match between them at WrestleMania?
Let me say this.
Um,
I agree with you on that part. Yes. But how much more inexperience you got to have with Jade? They threw her in with a veteran that has more talent in her pinky than Jade Cargill has in her entire wrestling career. They had to, because I feel like, say that if I'm wrong, WWE, the SmackDown Women's Division is going through a transition. They need another heel. They need another heel. And who's better to become a heel is Bianca Belair, because a current heel is going to become time. And we all know who that is after she cashes in Money in the Bank. Because right now, Tiffy Time is the hottest ticket right now on SmackDown.
It's true. But we talk about Bianca turning heel. I mean, it wouldn't be so hard to see Jade turn heel either. Because, I mean, that is what she was in her AEW run. But I feel like Bianca is definitely the better choice to turn heel out of the two.
Though. I do agree with you with that too. But Jade is a hot ticket for WWE right now. And I feel like Triple H wants to have her get more seasoned before they transition to her into a heel. This is not AEW. This is not where the big boys play. They don't
either.
Yeah, they don't throw a talent like Jade Cargill and then turn her heel when she's not ready for that yet. She was maybe in AEW she was, but in WWE they got to test the waters, and I think right now she's way too hot.
Yeah, I'd agree. So then the next question is, before I fully say the prediction, the Unholy Union's already beaten in a triple threat match. They beat Damage Control and the new faction, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, anyways, whatever they're called. over on Raw, who else? What other tag team is there for them to beat? I mean, you got Casey and Katana, but this just brings up our whole argument that the tag team titles just need to not exist. There's not enough tag teams for either one of these two teams to defend against, personally.
I feel like there's maybe two tag teams that should go for the titles that are not made up yet. The first one is on Raw. You got to put Abby LeWitt and Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss.
5 Feet of Fury.
Yeah. I mean, put her into the Wyatt Six. Oh, that will be a dominant team right there.
Yeah, they're former 2-time tag team champions in their own right together.
Yeah. And maybe put Charlotte, get Charlotte another title that's not the world title. Put her with put her with Bianca. Yeah.
Wow, that would be an interesting team. Charlotte and Bianca as heels, I assume you mean?
Yeah.
That could be very interesting.
And here's my wild card.
With all that,
my wild card one would be a shocker. Have Jade Cargill feel the glow.
Jade and Naomi as a team?
Yeah.
I can see that. Pretty good. All right. So I am... Man, after the video package they showed on SmackDown for this was all about Bianca and Jade. They were the ones talking through the video for it, which kind of makes sense since they are the ones on SmackDown, I guess. I don't know. They didn't really showcase much of the Unholy Union. The X Factor that could play a part in this match, of course, is Isla and Elba's newest tag team partner, Blair Davenport, as well. Naomi could get involved as well. Who knows? But man, it made me almost think a little bit that Jade and Bianca might win it after watching that video. But I gotta agree with you and Johnny. I think the Unholy Union retains, keeps this 2+ month reign going. I don't know who's in the line for next, but I just don't see why really you'd have Bianca and Jade win the titles back here when they've got the opportunity to do something bigger with these two coming out of this match.
Here's another team, but they're not on the main roster. How about total influencers, whatever the fuck they call them in NXT?
Fatal Influence.
Yeah. Phylon Henley and JC Jane.
JC Jane. Fatal Attraction was the old, or Toxic Attraction was the old name for it. Now it's Fatal Attraction.
Yeah, I mean, wow, they're really circling it.
Well, when you look at NXT, they've got a lot of teams down there in the women's division that could be involved if they would actually have those women tag team titles defended on NXT again, or bring back the NXT women's tag team titles that they never really should have got rid of, because the women's division's always been bigger and showcased better in NXT, in my opinion.
I would love to see Kalani Jordan, come up.
Eventually.
She's
going to be with her boyfriend, I'm sure, whenever she does.
Who doesn't want to see Wendy Chu and Tyler Tyson? What the fuck that be which bitch? Paxley.
Tatum Paxley.
Yeah, that'd be
Wendy
great.
Chu. No, I don't want to see Wendy Chu. Actually, I want to see Wendy Chu and Rosemary.
I hope. Hell, if Jordan Grace leads TNA, I mean, come on, everybody loves you here.
Right. All right. But moving on from the women, we got the first of our two main event matches. We're going to go with the WWE Undisputed WWE Championship match first. KO, Kevin Owens, who is very much against this match. He did not want the title match, felt like he didn't deserve this title match, which you can understand why, looking at his track record as of late. Going up against, of course, the American Nightmare, the current undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, who pretty much gave this opportunity to Kevin Owens because Kevin's helped him beat the Bloodline to get to this spot. KO brought it up tonight on SmackDown and mentioned that yesterday was the 8-year anniversary of him winning the Undisputed Championship. That Undisputed Championship reign that he had was the last world title reign that he had as well.
That is insane.
Crazy, I know, right? Yes. So, Johnny's going with Cody Rhodes retaining here. What do you got to bring to the conversation for this one, Eddie?
I feel like this is let's put together a match because we don't know what we're doing with Cody right now. We're just waiting for the final boss to come back and have his title shot with Cody Rhodes. So, without this saying, I love KO, but the American Nightmare is going to retain. I think because of the short time that they had from SummerSlam to Bash at Berlin, I think they just threw this match together. It don't feel like a real rivalry, like a real match that we know it's going to be a banger. And I'm not trying to quote Sheamus, but
right.
It's not something I'm looking forward to because it's like it's not something you want to see. I would have liked one of the Bloodline members in here, but this is what we get.
Fair enough. I'm really looking forward to it, honestly. That many people bring up as asked for this match, though, is do we see just a straight up match between these two, or during or after the match, do we get a Kevin Owens heel turn?
Oh, I say no. We get a straight up match because I feel like what happens in the other world title match, we might see rated, not rated, RKO. I said sorry, Adam Copeland. Call back a flat. I feel like the Tongas are going to lose the titles to Owens and Orton at Bad Blood.
Could be interesting.
Because of the
Not spoil anything, but
because of the help of the original one. To set up games
see.
in November.
Yes. I hope so. But I could see a potential heel turn from KO. Who do you think's in line for, if not KO in a rematch, if he was to turn heel? Who do you think's got next for Cody at Bad Blood then? Because I'm not sure. I mean, I know Solo says he's coming after whoever wins, but we had that match last month. Do we really need to see it again at Bad Blood? It was a stinker last month.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a shocker for me. Or maybe a shocker for you. Next month at Bad Blood, I would love to see Cody defend the title against the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Wow. I mean, I want to see Cody and Jacob at some point, but I don't know that I think this is the right spot for it, though.
Oh, I know. I understand. I'm just saying, do we put maybe at Bad Blood? You know, they don't put the tag in Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Do we see Orton versus Cody at Bad Blood? You know, there's some
I don't think
matches
so.
that are.
I mean, I see Orton versus Cody at some point in time.
Yeah.
Preferably at WrestleMania is where I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
But from what I'm hearing, that might be when the final boss gets his title match.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
There's a lot of what to do with Cody's title reign. Because to me, he should be. God, I want to say this because, you know, he finished the story. I just wish the story. Mm-hmm. I just feel like the story should end. Because it hasn't been a real good title run.
I semi-disagree, but not fully.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I got you.
He's had, but yeah, they definitely haven't been rivalries or matches to the caliber of what we've seen Roman Reigns wise over for his almost universal.
And the problem,
champion. However,
and the problem is, and please don't take this in the wrong way. The belt is on the wrong show.
That is an interesting take on things. I mean, the World Heavyweight title has always been a Raw show, though. Or Raw title, I mean.
I'm talking about the belt. It's great, the WWE Championship. But if you look at the rosters,
yeah,
clacking opponents on SmackDown. If he's on Raw, there's a whole bunch of contenders he could go at that could fight him. He could have a match with Braun Breaker, Ilya Dragunov. I mean, Big Bronson Reed. I mean, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. There's a Raw is stacked.
So, yeah. So, to me, I would say to that fact, SmackDown's just missing heels for the most part. Because your main heels are the Bloodline.
Yeah.
And you need more than just those four guys because only two of them are really main event material, if you want to be honest. No offense to Tama Tonga, but Jacob Fatu and Solo are the only two believable main eventers, in my opinion, out of those four. And then who's after that you got heel-wise? I mean, AJ, I guess, is a heel, but we've seen that already. Shinsuke's, I think, supposed to be a heel still, but Shinsuke and Cody have had their rivalry over on Raw, and Shinsuke hasn't been on TV since he got drafted to SmackDown. But then who else is a heel on SmackDown that's a believable challenger for Cody Rhodes?
Please don't say Grayson Waller because that would be a trashy fucking match.
Santos Escobar?
No. Maybe. Oh my God, I'm going to say this to you and you can tell me if I'm dead wrong. I would love to see your boy get a shot at the title.
He's got to finish his rivalry with Andrade first.
Or maybe Andrade.
But yes, I would love to see.
You know, yeah. I mean, I don't want to see Kevin Owens go heel, but it's a toss-up.
Yeah, that's the best spot to go with them.
It's a toss-up because
we need more heels.
It's a toss-up. This is why WWE has to start making moves from NXT. You got guys down there that are ready and hungry to move up to the main roster.
And would be believable challengers for the world title.
I would love to see Cody go up against, Obafemi.
That's funny because that's exactly what I was thinking of too.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, I'm still not a huge Obafemi fan, but I admit it. He would be a believable challenger.
or him and Wesley.
Yeah, even Wesley. I mean, he's just starting off with his heel run, but I could already see him being a top heel.
I mean, there's some guys down in NXT that they got to start like bring them up to see what they got. I mean, you got some guys that I would love to see the family come up and the D'Angelo family. That would be a great time to see them.
Yeah. Tony D definitely, especially.
Yeah.
Right.
This one's hard.
That's what they need to work.
This one they need when WWE goes to USA. Hopefully they do like a 3-hour SmackDown and maybe bring some guys up because their roster is like flat.
For the most part, yeah, I'd agree. They need work. Their best division on SmackDown right now is the tag team division.
With titles that don't get defended at all.
What are you talking about? They just got defended a couple weeks ago.
I know. I'm talking about
Like 2 weeks ago.
I'm talking about Balor and fucking Deji McDonough. Like, what the hell? You're not defending your
over Raw. Yeah, I thought we were still talking SmackDown.
No, but there's some stuff that I get tired of. Like, you don't have the Intercontinental title on the line. You don't have the U.S. title on the line. You don't have either tag team titles on the line in this event. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
He just wants to figure rivalries on these shows. That's why he's doing it. He wants to keep the show shorter.
I know.
Other than the Big Four. All right, shall we move on? I know we could go off on different things.
Yeah.
The main event. I'm pretty sure it'll be the main event of the show anyways, with it being where he's from, or the home country anyways. You got the rematch from the King of the Ring finals, as we've got the Viper, Randy Orton from Friday Night SmackDown, coming over to Raw to face the new World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. And Johnny's got Gunther retaining here. I believe from what you were saying earlier, it sounds like you feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I love Randy, but I call this the pick-me-up match because of that shitty botch at the King of the Ring. I mean, hands down, this is just to make it look good. And do you really want to take the title off of Gunther right now? No. I mean, I feel like he has some matches coming up with Ilya Dragunov. I feel like he has some matches against Sheamus, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. I mean, there is a plethora of main event Jey Uso. I mean, there's some challenges on Raw. I think Gunther's gonna have. Hell, I even want to see him. I even want to see him wrestling Ludwig Kaiser. Yeah. Yeah.
At some point in time, yeah.
Yeah, I love Randy, but yeah, I gotta go with the Ring General.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make it 3 for 3. I agree with you. I love Randy. I can't wait to see him win some gold at some point in time, sooner than later, hopefully, and get close to team title reigns. If Cena doesn't break it, Orton has to, in my opinion. because they're not going to leave H with the record. And Randy says he's got several years still to go. So I just don't feel like number 15 is happening tomorrow, though. Like you said, this is too early in Gunther's title reign. They don't really need Randy Orton on Raw, in my opinion. They've got way too much other star power on Raw right now to need to bring over the Viper permanently. It's been nice seeing him on the last couple weeks, but Gunther needs to have a lengthy title reign, just because he had a long NXT UK championship title reign and a long Intercontinental Championship reign doesn't mean they need to cut this one off at its legs, if you understand what I mean by that.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
But definitely need to continue this title reign. Gunther wins here in Berlin. It'll be a hell of a match, of course, but the Ring General will somehow manage to sneak out of Berlin with the World Heavyweight Championship intact. I'd say to send the crowd home happy since they're in Germany and he's from Germany, but all right. That is that. So we're gonna do
Wow.
screen share for a moment. So that's Bash in Berlin. 5 matches on that card. We'll see if they add any afterwards. You mentioned the U.S. title, of course. That title got defended on SmackDown tonight when LA Knight defended it in an open challenge against what ended up being Ludwig Kaiser from Germany, of course. So that's why he came out to get the title match, and LA Knight won. Was an interesting SmackDown, and I will say it on here. I mentioned it in our group chat on Facebook to see Carmelo Hayes and Andrade on one of these PLEs in the very near future. Because these two men are outstanding in the ring together. Like, we just give them 20 minutes on a PLE to go at it. 7 maybe at that point at Bad Blood.
You know, I totally agree with you. I feel like since Carmelo Hayes been up on the main roster, hasn't done really that much. You know, and it's a shame.
True.
The man is a talent. If they're not going to use him, send him back down to NXT. You know, do something with him. I mean, you're wasting his time because they don't know what to do with him. I don't know why. I mean, they're wasting talent like Pretty Deadly. You know, making him into like R-Truth sidekicks.
Really?
Are you there? Oh, here you go. There you go. I mean, I mean, yeah, I wish they'd do something with him. I mean, he's too damn good of a talent not to be wasted like that.
Right? I've been enjoying the matches between those two, like I said, and I can't wait to they go from here. I mean, you people are just gonna have to wait. I'm in the middle of something. People bugging me on Snapchat and other places.
You'd be like, stop snapping me, okay? I have to do my work.
Really? Trying to work here. All right. But yeah, I want to see where things go for Melo after this rivalry, but I'm enjoying the rivalry as we're getting it between him and Andrade. That's my main point right now.
Yeah, I am too. I feel like, you got two guys that have high flying ability. I just wish they do more.
All right. All right. We'll move on to NXT No Mercy. I did even trying to call me on Snapchat. They ain't answering no calls, especially when they want people I follow or anything either. Crazy. Anyway, sorry.
It's all right.
I wasn't necessarily planning on this. Jeez. I'm going to have to get on Snapchat and just get rid of that real quick here. Bear with me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to keep my phone. You're not going to see anything at the bottom of the screen for this because I wasn't planning on necessarily bringing up NXT, but since we've got it here, I'm going to leave that group. We'll talk it. You just won't see the matches listed at the bottom of the screen. You'll just see the pictures of the matches. So, the first match on here came off of a shocker to me. I think a shocker to many people watching NXT a few weeks back. These two men were MSK. As we know, they were the NXT Tag Team Champions, I believe, on 2 occasions. Never,
2 times.
maybe it was just one occasion, but still, yeah,
no,
two-time Tag Team Champions. Yeah, and they're forced to relinquish because Zach got into issues. He was known as Nash Carter, of course, back then in NXT. We got the MSK reunion, the Rascals reunion in NXT. MSK had the tag team title match. I thought for sure they were going to win, but they didn't. But it's what happened after the match that was the surprising part, because Wesley would decide to Rascals quickly, because just last week Zachary Wentz came out and returned the favor after the triple threat match that Wesley was in for the #1 contender championship, or during the league, and kind of cost him the match. And then the promo that the ring this past Tuesday night on NXT, if you didn't see it, you should take time to go out of your way and watch it, because it was really good. Very unexpected to see this side of Wesley. It's not something that we've seen ever in WWE, and I don't think it's really a side that we've seen of him even going back to his TNA days. It's brand new, I feel like, for him. What do you think of everything that's gone on with this?
First of all, I really didn't watch the Rascals that much, in TNA, but I heard they were great. MSK, high flying, but yeah, that shocking heel turn by Wesley was like, whoa, okay. To me, I feel like it's going to be a good high flying match. Now that, Zachary Wentz is the new X Division champion as of tonight. He won the X Division title at Resurgence. So, congratulations to him. But I feel like this match is going to be a great match, and we'll see how it happens, because this is the first premium live event as Wesley as a heel, which is something I haven't seen since he's been in the WWE.
Exactly. It's definitely a different demeanor, a different look from Wesley. He's still pretty much pulls out the same moves that look like in that triple threat match that he had. brothers or teammates get in the ring. I mean, these two I feel like are going to be, I hate to draw comparisons, but they're going to be like Triple H and Shawn Michaels because, behind the scenes, they're still really close friends. Best friends make better enemies at times in wrestling, and I feel like this is going to be one of those cases. And I'm expecting a very good match between these two men that may or may not kick off No Mercy. Who knows? But I think it should really kick off No Mercy when you look at the card.
Oh, I definitely do see this hopefully starting it because it will bring back the days of the cruiserweights in WCW. I would love to see this happen because you got two guys that are very talented and are starting different. They're on different paths. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what it is tomorrow on Sunday night.
So I'll get to that comment I just put up there. So we'll get into our predictions for this first, then I'll get into that comment. John's got Wes Lee, the new version of Wes Lee, picking up the win here over his former. What do you got, Eddie?
I gotta go with Johnny Boy. I feel like you're not gonna have a TNA star win at a WWE NXT PLE match. If you look at the track record, they're not really good track record of mega stars from NXT winning. I mean, hell, you had Rosemary lose to Kalani Jordan. I mean, what the hell?
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I wouldn't be surprised to see Trey Miguel get involved in some way, shape, or form, but I still don't think that'll be enough. I feel like Wes Lee's gonna bring out something that'll help him pick up the victory here, whether he has some help of his own or just manages to overcome the numbers game. I just think, like you said, I don't see a TNA wrestler really going over an NXT superstar in this situation. I'll bring this up again. We got Royal FF Gaming in the comment section a little bit ago, about 7 minutes ago. Posted hashtag Q&A, Bloodline versus Judgment Cap Hoga. I feel like they mean Bloodline versus Judgment Day, something about that. But I don't know if we'll ever see a Bloodline versus Judgment Day, and which version of Bloodline are you referring to as well?
Yeah, but, and please,
that's that.
But first of all, thank you for the question. But do you really want to see this version of the Judgment Day beat this version of the Bloodline? It will be like the Samoan werewolf going into McDonald's and destroying it because he didn't get his Happy Meal.
Right? All right. To the NXT Tag Team title match. I'll keep the comment section there in case response from Royal FF Gaming or anybody else. The next match, we got the rematch for the NXT Tag Team titles as you got Nathan Frazier and Axiom going up against Andre Chase and Ridge Holland of Chase University for the tag titles. Chase U retains is what Johnny says for this one.
I do agree with Johnny that the Varsity Club is going to beat Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Oh, I'm sorry, Chase U. My bad. I was thinking about Kevin Sullivan and Mike Rotunda. Woo!
Yeah.
But I do see a heel turn happening. I see Nathan Frazier destroying his tag team partner.
So, okay, there it goes. I was gonna say, it was that oops connection lost there for a second, and then I connected, so we're good. I agree with you and Johnny that Chase U is retaining. I also agree with you there's going to be a heel turn, whether or not it's during the match or after the match. However, I think it's going to be Axiom turning on Nathan Frazier. And maybe out of it, yeah, I think maybe out of it, we also see the mask come off and we get the return of A-Kid, and A-Kid gets a run as a heel.
I would love that. I mean, either way, one of them to turn the heel. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to see them as tag team champions again. You know how upset I was that they kept retaining those tag team titles, and they were winning against teams they shouldn't have been winning against, in my opinion. Not that I think Andre Chase and Rich Holland are going to be tag team champions for Frazier and Axiom's team to come to an end.
Yeah.
All right. And then we got the women's North American title match.
Good Lord.
Got Wendy Choo, the new version of Wendy Choo, going up against Kalani Jordan for the North American title, women's North American title. Johnny Scott Kalani retaining the title. What are you thinking here, Eddie?
I'm giving my ducky ducky quack quack moment of the match. Yeah. I'm sorry. I love Kalani Jordan, but I see Wendy Choo, North American Women's Champion.
Wow. What makes you think that?
I think because she's great talent, Kalani. I love her. I love the way she works. But I think it's time to see what we got in Wendy. I want to see what we have in Wendy Choo. I feel like this new version is twisted enough to see if she can have a title run. Yes, we still have other heels, but I don't see it as a point against me, but I would love to see Wendy Choo win.
Yeah, right.
I just feel like it's time. I just feel like it's time for her she has the title since Vegas. I think it's time to get the title off of her.
Take. So I've thought about it, and I thought Wendy Choo possibly could win, but then seeing her get the upper hand and choking out Kalani on Tuesday night, and knowing that a lot of times whoever gets the upper hand going into the premium live event or pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, doesn't usually turn out well for them. And I'm going with Kalani to retain here because of that mostly. If Wendy wins, maybe we see Rosemary coming out to help her win it. But I think Kalani's going to retain and continue this.
It's amazing with Rosemary. On NXT, she's a heel, and her music has changed. Mm-hmm. Then she goes back to TNA, and she's going up against Ash by Elegance and Dana Brad.
Right. Yeah, that would be interesting to see because I didn't see that. But it was nice to see Rosemary on NXT this past week. Well, we good?
What up? What up, Kev?
Oh, we got somebody in the comment section. That's what you're seeing. All right. Good evening from Kevin. That'd be Busta Boy.
Hey, Busta.
Welcome to the show, my friend. I don't see Wendy Chu winning here because the story is still cooking for her, is what Kevin says. It's his alternate account. Good to see you, man. We'll move on. We got the NXT Men's North American Championship match as the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo, North American Champion, the ruler of NXT, as he calls himself, Oba Femi. Johnny's got a new champion being crowned here in the Don, Tony D'Angelo.
Well, because he represents the family. So, no offense to Ahmed Johnson. No offense to Ahmed Johnson, but it's time for him to lose the title. Capiche?
So you got Tony winning too.
I got Tony. So congratulations on winning the title, Tony. Oh,
I won a title? Thanks.
yeah.
No. Kevin said I forgot I was still on this account because I was filming and posting content. Oh well. Any account works, my friend, as long as you're in here and leaving us something.
Hey, how you doing? I'm sorry.
Thanks for being in the show. Not even gonna try to pronounce it either. It's all right, but nice to have comments and questions and anything else from anybody that's in here. I hate to be the one out here and hear me out. The NXT ever MC. Okay. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I want it to, and I keep picking against him, but this time I'm gonna go with Oba Femi retaining the NXT North American Championship. I don't want to see it happen, but I just have a feeling somehow, some way, he's going to retain the North American title in Denver. Lesnar is going to win this one. Yeah, that's calling. That's what I'm saying. With Oba Femi to retain.
Oh.
Which I hate to. All right. So then we got the women's title match. We've got Jada Parker going up against the women's. He's got Roxanne.
I made you a burger and it's done.
What?
I made you a burger and it's done.
Okay. It's going to be a little bit still. Unless you're going to put it together for me and bring it to me.
What do you want? We have tomatoes, mayonnaise,
mayonnaise,
cheese.
ketchup, well, cheese.
I already put the cheese on.
Lettuce, tomato.
Lettuce.
If we got lettuce.
We have lettuce.
I'll take pickles or pickle relish, whichever.
Okay.
Please, thanks.
So basically everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho, yes, I'm getting food brought to me. She does that sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, Johnny.
I would be like, wait. I'll be like, wait. You want some small fries and a Diet Coke?
Not a Diet Coke, but small fries. Yeah.
I know.
What's happening on Raw right now? There's a lot of things happening on Raw right now, but that's okay, Kevin. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Johnny's got Roxanne Perez retaining. What do you think of this match, Eddie?
I got the protege, my girl. God, every time I look at her butt, I'm like, yeah, girl, just shake it, Ron. I'm ready to see that pop.
So here, my thinking for this. Jada Parker is a future women's champion, in my opinion, or women's North American champion, if nothing else, at some point in time. This is her first title shot, singles title shot at least. There's no way she's winning here. This is all just to lead to the debut of either Delta, Stephanie, or more than likely, oh damn, I just drew a blank on her name too. I shouldn't have. Julia. There we go. And that's who will be next in line for the Prodigy to defend against.
Do we see the returning Cora J?
Do we see the what?
Do we see Cora J return?
I don't think she's ready yet. I think we're getting one of those debuts. Kevin says I'm going to have to say Roxanne is going to retain here. I normally pick Roxanne, but this one is going to be tough. I mean, I'd love to see Cora Jade return, but I don't think she's quite ready yet. And like I said, they've got too many women that are coming into NXT soon that they're going to end up having one of them come in, I feel like, after this match.
Most definitely.
Well, that brings us up to speed here for NXT No Mercy. And that also brings us to
day that he appears, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. He's London, Paris, Tokyo, America, Scotland.
I had to play it. Yes, gotta have the pyro. That brain event of NXT No Mercy as TNA wrestler Joe Hendry will go one-on-one with the NXT champion All Ego Ethan Page for the NXT championship. But you can't forget, you got a special guest referee out there, Trick Willie himself, Trick Williams. With that said, Johnny still NXT champion.
I've been thinking about this match for a long, like, since it was announced. Joe Henry's hot right now. Joe Hendry is hot right now in the world of wrestling. I mean, every show you watch, it's a picture of Joe Hendry everywhere.
That's true.
If Triple H, if HBK was Henry's hot right now. Joe, HBK really wanted to put a title on this guy, he would. But, God, I see Ethan Page winning because I don't see Joe Henry winning that title. I see him winning the TNA title first.
Yeah.
So I got to go with all ego, but I feel like we might have a heel turn.
So you're going with.
Yeah, and I feel like we're going to have a heel turn with Trick Williams because he's still pissed off about losing the title. Any guy that loses the title in NXT, they turn heel right afterwards. Trick hasn't had that yet.
True. So here's Kevin's take. I mean, that was Eddie's take. Okay, here's my take on this. Joe is over like a batch right now. But here's my thoughts on this. I think Trick is going to screw Joe over, and we're going to lead to a triple threat match. So he's kind of in the same thinking that you are. But here's my thinking. You're not going to see a heel turn from Trick Williams. But Trick will come into play when it comes to the end of the match. There's another individual on NXT who's been very pissed off with Trick Williams at the end of NXT this past week. Is going to come out there and stop Trick Williams from counting the 3 to give Joe Hendry the win at some point in time. And we'll take out Trick Williams. We'll get another referee after some shenanigans. That's going to lead to All Ego Ethan Page picking up the win and retaining the NXT championship, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, either way, yeah.
I mean, I would love to see Joe Hendry, of course, walk out as the NXT champion. I believe in Joe Hendry, but I just don't feel like they're going to book him over as the NXT champion. At least not yet. I'm not saying they won't at some point, but not this Sunday night at No Mercy. I don't think that's his time. We're still in the All Ego era. And Kevin says, Pete Dunne, I forgot all about him, but hey, I'm sure even Pete Dunne forgot about Pete Dunne. Yeah, well, you haven't been paying that close of attention to Raw and NXT then if you've forgotten about Pete Dunne. He's been all over both shows.
Oh, my God, yes.
There's rivalries between Sheamus and talk about, I mean, that's of course the 2 big WWE shows this weekend. We mentioned a couple of newsworthy things at the top of the show. And I think that's pretty much all that we've got for right now then.
Actually, I do want to talk about one thing. Have you seen the Jon Moxley interview from Wednesday night?
We know you like to trash talk there, Kevin. What about Jon Moxley?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the Jon Moxley interview from Wednesday night with Tony Schiavone saying it's not his company anymore? Like, what the hell does that mean?
Yes, it did. I love to troll. Yeah, I know you love to troll me. But, that's a good question. We don't talk a whole lot about AEW on here because they're not really worth our time for the most part. But
yeah,
that was a very put out. It's going to be interesting to see what that leads to. I assume, and I know what that can mean, but what that means at times. But I would think perhaps it could lead to a Shane McMahon debut in AEW of some sort, or just a takeover of some sort, whether he's involved or not. It's going to be interesting to see where things go with that. I mean, when the first person that aligns themselves with Moxley, they have is Marina Shafir. I'm not sure I agree with that one. I didn't recognize her at first until they said what her name was, because she's got a completely different look, in my opinion, right now. But I felt like they could have went with somebody else instead of her if they were going to have a woman involved in this. But we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't like talking about AEW either because it is a trashy show. But that one was really intriguing. Like Moxie came back and he looks totally different.
That's true. I do try to be professional here. You don't know. Yes, John Moxley does look completely different. He came out to Death Rider gear of any sort or shirts or anything like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where exactly this goes. Is he trying to recruit Darby Allin for whatever's going to happen since he wants to have a talk with Darby Allin? Darby does have a world title match coming up in September in New York. So we'll see what happens.
It's gonna be a couple. It's gonna be an interesting storyline with that. If we think who it is that is coming to AEW, that will be a major bombshell in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, Kevin, you're always good at making me laugh, but I laugh a lot to different things. All right. But yeah, I think I can take that off there now. Whoops. Well, different way though. Cut it off a while ago. There we go. But anyway, yeah, it's give them that much. Dynamite wasn't the best for the first show after review, their biggest paper. Was between that and the Swerve Hangman Page conversation that those two guys had on Dynamite were the only two things that were worth really watching. All right. So we got to do this before we go off the air. Join this stream, and I don't know if this has been asking this, but do you guys think Brock Lesnar might show up? No.
No. He's still in that legal battle with McMahon and that sexual assault case. I don't see him showing up maybe until the Royal Rumble in fabulous February.
Oh, I still hate it. Long way of Tony saying thank you. Yeah, sure, Kevin. Whatever makes you sleep at night. But anyway, Classic Gamer, there's too much stuff going on with Brock Lesnar being involved, like Eddie said, with that whole case with Vince, and I just don't feel like WWE's at a spot where they want to bring him back in right now. So
I don't have any lettuce.
That's fine.
I got it though.
Good job. I even did get fries, so February's Royal Rumble, but we just have to wait and see. I know. We'll just have to wait and see if even then Brock Lesnar's brought back. So
yeah,
he'll be back at some point in time. Just the matter of
right now I think it's too soon for him to come back because of the allegations, and you don't want a new company that just bought over last year want to have that major bad publicity on their hands right now. And with all the stuff that's going on in WWE, I heard they're even thinking about moving the Performance Center to Vegas.
So yeah, that was a rumor at first. I think what it sounded like afterwards, they're moving the Performance Center necessarily to Vegas, but they might open another Performance Center in Vegas.
Hey, that would work great.
Yeah. All right. Well, it shows we got 9 people in here, which is most through the whole hour and a half we've been online. If anybody's got any other comments or questions about wrestling related, we'll gladly sit here for a few more minutes and answer any questions or talk about anything you guys want to talk about. We gave our predictions. We feel like, just to recap. No, go ahead, Eddie.
And I would love to ask anybody that came online here. First of all, thank you. But I was wondering what you guys, and I know Tony would agree with me, what was your favorite Psycho Sid moment in his great wrestling career? Please leave a comment and we could talk about that. What was your favorite moment of Psycho Sid, the man that was gone too soon?
For sure.
Is it edible?
Mm-hmm.
Is it edible?
Yeah, I made it edible.
Matches wise, we don't like there's a title change of any sort at Bash in Berlin. And then when it comes to No Mercy, who might win the Women's North American title? John and I both say, Kalani Jordan's going to retain the men's North American title. John and Eddie both got the Don winning the title. I got Obafemi retaining. Then we think the other titles will stay put. Back catchphrase NGOA.
I don't know what that is either. So okay.
I probably should, but I can't think of it either.
Maybe it's heel, Kevin.
Well, being interesting, so.
It's always interesting.
Give them a couple more minutes if anybody wants to add anything in the comments section besides just Kevin.
Oh my God.
Yes. Nobody gets out alive. From his old gimmick that he did. So since you mentioned that, I would say personally, like I kind of mentioned earlier, Sid and Sean had some really good matches, and one of my favorite matches that those two guys had, some people, but I always enjoyed their Royal Rumble match where Sean won the title back from Sid. That was a really good match.
Yes, the '97 Royal Rumble. I thought it was a great match. Antonio, Texas, at the Alamo Dome. I mean, that was a great match. Sid showed he could be the big man, and then Shawn Michaels lost his smile.
Yes.
It disappeared.
Yep, it did.
Oh, quick note. I know Tony.
It's not showing up.
Me and Tony say this to everybody. Thank you guys who watched our previous live show of the 1996 WCW Hog Wild. We want to say thank you to everybody that watched it, and we're going to do more shows like that, vintage pay-per-views. So if you got any that you want, let us know in a comment. We want to know what pay-per-view you think we should do of WWF, WCW. Hell, we'll even do a ECW one. and we'll talk about it. But, with September coming up, and Tony could tell you this after the show, we got something we want to really show you what we're doing in September. So we'll just go back to the three to see what Tony. But thank you again, everybody, for Hog Wild review. It was awesome.
Yes, we're up on that show right now. So we do appreciate all the people watching. We would love to get some more likes and some more comments or more messages about shows, but do appreciate all the views anyways.
Yeah.
Kevin did say, and I had it up there, without sounding too cold, never really was a Sid fan. I can understand some people weren't really fans of Sid's, but I personally felt like he was one of the best in the game. That's me.
And I agree with that. Sid had his moments in professional wrestling. If you watch his work with Dan Spivey and the Skyscrapers, for a big man to wrestle the British Bulldog, and Bulldog was a technical genius. I mean, look at Sid. You had to feel sorry. He wrestled the Shockmaster.
True.
And
he was one of the main.
Have to feel sorry for him to do them. And you also have to feel sorry for the guy with them stupid WCW mini movies on the beach with, we're gonna throw this with Colonel Parker and fucking, who else was in that damn Colonel Parker and Harley Race on a boat trying to destroy Sting and the Bulldog. What the fuck was that piece of garbage?
Right? And Sid was one of the main people that brought in Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray too. So,
most definitely. But the best part, funniest moment with Sid, when the Shockmaster fell, you hear him like, "Oh shit, he fell!" Like,
right?
It's just fall down.
All right. Our viewers went down to about 3 now. So,
why?
Good night, everybody.
Right. But since Kevin's the only one in the comment section, and he had that to say, yes, we kind of told you in the last show, and we'll mention again, September there is no PLE for WWE.
When?
So we won't have a prediction show next month at all. But that doesn't mean we're not going to be on the air, because we've got many shows lined up for you to talk about. What is the one pay-per-view in particular, again, Eddie, that we decided we're going to talk about at some point next month?
Well, Tony, we are going to talk about one of the classic WCW pay-per-views, the 1996 pay-per-view Fall Brawl War Games, where the Horsemen, Arn Anderson and Ric Flair, teaming up with Sting and Lexi, going up against the formed NWO of Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hollywood, you know what his name is, and their fourth member. You have no idea what we're going to talk about, but that's our show, is Fall Brawl 96.
September. We will bring you part 2 of our newest show as well. Our 3 Faces of Wrestling. We'll be on the lookout for that. And who knows, we might throw another show or in there as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, watching the show at the moment. Oh. Thank you to everybody who was in the comment section, whether you threw out just one comment or not. Thank you to everybody who watches later. We appreciate everybody. Look out on the social media pages. You'll usually see mine, but I don't have that available right now, so it's weird how they do things with their scenes on here at times.
It's cool.
I can do it this way though, so I think I got. Hold on, I think I can get it so I can.
Hold on, short break for a sec.
Yeah, sure, a short break. I'm trying to get anything else you want, Eddie?
No, but actually, I was thinking about this. You know, as Tony and me have been talking off air in our production meetings, we still want to do a rivalry, a favorite rivalry. Me and him are talking to try to figure out our top three our top three rivalries that we're going to post on our social media. And please, we want anybody to leave a comment because this is really important. We want to know when we post them, we want you to pick who you want because we'll do that on the show. We really want to do a special rivalry of the three that we think are the greatest rivalries of all time. So please, when we post that on Tony's social media, my social media account, even Johnny's social media account, we want to make this a show that we talk about history of wrestling. So please think of that.
I was
Okay.
playing over you. Sorry, they did as well. But yes, I post that at some point in time. We'll try to share this. But yeah, again, to Sid and his family and Kevin Sullivan and his family, all the wrestlers that we've lost lately. We look forward to seeing Bash in Berlin tomorrow. Remember that it starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Peacock for anybody who wants to watch. Sunday night, NXT No Mercy starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be seeing it right from the beginning because I got work, but I will catch it in the long run.
Is that tomorrow?
Catch you guys in the very near. Yeah, no, I'm not working tomorrow. I'm working on Sunday.
Yeah, I got to work tomorrow, so I'll miss an hour of it.
Oh no!
I'll keep you informed if you want to.
All right, please do.
Yeah. You guys enjoy your evening and keep on enjoying wrestling.
Yay.
Not yay, because I was sharing it, but I didn't see it share at all.
Oh, not yay. Oh, it's
Yay!
So now it's going to.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, maybe.